Acer has been kicking butt with the Predator gaming line. This is the Predator 17. Inside it's rocking the 6th gen Intel Core i7 6700HQ, NVIDIA 1070, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a 256 M2 SSD. Specs are amazing, but does this laptop have what it takes to become one of the best gaming laptops? I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja, and let's find out. This is the Acer Predator 17. There are dozens of different trims starting at $1,600 and going all the way up to $3,000. This one sits in between, just a hair over $2,000. This laptop is massive. It features a 17.3-inch 1080p display, and to support that huge screen, the width is very girthy at 16.65 and it's 1.56 inches thick. This laptop weighs a whopping 9.26 pounds. This thing is hardly a laptop due to its sheer size, and Acer has a solution for that. Just like the desktop, you can purchase a backpack designed for this laptop specifically. It's $149 and you are definitely paying for the branding. I mean, it's a good laptop bag, but you can find them way cheaper. Back to the laptop. It is fitted with a sleek matte black design. It has red inserts around the front bezel, the lid, the arrows, and WASD keys. The keyboard is super clicky. Not quite mechanical, but clicky enough to give you some satisfying punch. You can also disable the touchpad with a hardware button, which is pretty cool. And the reason you want to do that is when you're gaming, you don't want to accidentally touch the touchpad and then suddenly your mouse goes crazy. Also, the keyboard is backlit and the keys are programmable, and this can be used to set up 3 different profile groups, and you can also adjust the lighting zones, which is actually nice for customization. You can also program buttons to take screenshots, record sessions, and a ton of other different macros. As far as ports, this laptop has plenty of those, 4 USB 3.0 and 1 power off USB charging, 1 Thunderbolt 3, which is actually Type-C USB, 1 DisplayPort, 1 HDMI, which HDCP support, 1 Ethernet, 1 headphone jack, and 1 Kingston lock slot. And you also have 1 expansion slot, which you can slide in different things like an extra fan, CD-ROM drive, or even another hard drive. The M2 SSD gave us some really fast speeds, and I use AS SSD for testing, and all the test scores are in the description below, but the total score was 2320. So Acer also had one more trick up its sleeve, and the 256 drive is good, but it may not be good enough to hold all your games. So Acer did drop in a 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive as well for long-term storage. And both drives are easily accessible too, just by taking off the back panel. So if you want to upgrade later on in life, you can definitely do that easily. Also, you do have 2 more RAM slots back here, so you can slap up to 64 gigabytes of RAM. That's pretty dope. One feature that came in handy for me was the Killer Double Shot Pro. This allows for a Wi-Fi connection and Ethernet at the same time. You can use some apps on Wi-Fi and some on Ethernet, meaning you can have a download running on the wired connection and then watch Netflix on the wireless. And this is automatic, and it's determined by which connection gets which. Now, the one bad thing is that it's automatic and you can't designate different things to be on different connections, but I think the software does a pretty decent job at it. I was actually downloading a game before, and while playing another game, it actually had some really low ping, which was pretty cool. Battery life is surprisingly good. It's an 8-cell 6000 milliamp battery, but for a gaming laptop, it was very good. During my gaming sessions with maxed out brightness, I got around 4 hours, but I'm sure we could have eked out a couple more hours if I had brightness set to 50%, but when I'm gaming, I want the brightness all the way up, and for me, that was actually pretty good. But battery life shouldn't be a concern because this laptop is so large, I have a hard time thinking you're going to be at your local coffee shop gaming. As far as software, we do have Windows 10 intact with a few things that Acer provided for us. There's a bit of bloat on the system, but nothing out of the ordinary. We have the Killer Double Shot Pro, which I mentioned, Predator Sense, which is a quick and easy way to check system vitals like fan speed, temps, and you can also overclock the system from here. Now you can overclock the system to 4.6 gigahertz if you wish, but that does tend to make the fans kick on more, and it does kill more battery obviously. For all of our testing as far as gaming, we did overclock to turbo mode to get the best possible performance. There's also Dust Defender, which is used to remove dust from the fans by using high-speed fans in reverse, but our review unit didn't come pre-installed with dust, so I can't comment on that. So this is a gaming laptop. So let's talk about some gaming. The 1070 fared well in our testing, and we tested with the following games: Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, and Watch Dogs. All the games are at the highest settings, and we actually had everything in turbo mode to test everything out. And here are the results.
We have lost objective apples.
Alright, for Battlefield 1 DirectX 11 1080p Ultra, we averaged 120 frames per second, and we maxed out at 124. So the game may have dipped a little bit out of the hundreds when a lot of things were happening, but for the most part, we were way over 100 frames per second. Did a really great job. Titanfall 2. Now this game might have been able to perform better, but turning off the VSync caused the game to be really unstable and produce some very low numbers. So we were capped at 75 frames per second for the average and max.
Yo, whose place am I in?
Now for Watch Dogs 2, we did install the high-res textured pack, and we played the game at 1080p resolution, and we averaged 62 frames per second, and we maxed out at 68. As you can see, this laptop can replace a desktop for gaming. Obviously, you do lose the ability to upgrade the graphics card, but pretty much everything else is accessible: hard drive, RAM, and things like that. I mean, this laptop is like a desktop to me, how big it is, and you not being able to move it around as much since it's so large. But the 1070 is strong enough to play AAA titles, and that should be okay for the next few years. And that's all you can expect out of anything gaming, especially a laptop. Gaming laptops are one of those things that cost a lot of money, but they don't stay at the top of the game forever. And most of these laptops is not easy to upgrade. This one actually has some decent upgradability, which is pretty nice. Anyways guys, if you liked the video, you know what to do. Hit the link down below, and also hit subscribe and leave a comment. My name is Kevin the Tech Ninja, and I'll talk to you guys later.
KTTN, say it again. Tell a friend that it's him again. Yo, real talk, opinions gon' be sharper than 4K. Scope Squad, eat it up, simmer it, saute. Ninja got reviews and brands galore. You ain't never seen a channel like this before. No hashtag crispy around this runway. Utter out your mouth that you started with gunplay.